Hey there, I'm the Madcatster. Am I glad to see you here? Well, America's favorite Christian couple, the Chrisleys, certainly don't know best, and it was the judge who's had the last word and has decided that Todd and Julie Chrisley deserve long prison sentences. I've got the details. This is breaking news. Let's get into it. So before we get started, I'm here with Sybil the Enforcer, who's purring away as always, and she is making her list and checking it twice, and she's gonna find out who's naughty or nice. So if you're not subscribed, she says, please like and subscribe. Be on Sybil's good list. She's feeling really good, you guys. So thank you all for your best wishes. Anyways, let's talk about Todd and Julie Chrisley. Oh my God. So this is an example of finally justice being served, and just because you're rich and powerful doesn't mean you get to skate away. And the Chrisleys have been given long prison sentences from a federal judge down in Georgia for their tax fraud convictions. And as you remember, I did a video back in June about this where I did a deeper dive. If you haven't seen it, the link is down below. I'll also put a link up here, but it goes into a lot of the details. And it also talks about the salacious aspect of the trial, which was that this whole thing was started by his ex-boyfriend, Todd Chrisley's ex-boyfriend, flipping on him. And this guy, Mark Braddock, who was once his business partner, got really annoyed that Todd had apparently spurned him, and finally came forward and told the feds that there was this fraud going on and exposed the whole thing. And he was given immunity because that's what the feds do when somebody wants to flip. And so he was able to tell the whole tale without any risk of him going to jail or being tried for a crime. So I have mixed feelings about that as an attorney. I think, yes, it's good in one way because they probably couldn't get enough evidence together without his corroboration and him giving them the leads on where to look and what exactly happened. But on the other hand, it's like, well, so this guy gets away with committing these crimes with the Chrisleys, and he's not an innocent victim, and yet he gets to skate away. Well, anyways, at least we got justice. The Chrisleys tried to avoid paying taxes. They tried to hide income. And I talked about this in my June video. So what happened basically was the Chrisleys had several companies. They had one company that was like Chrisley Asset Management, which dealt with buying up foreclosed properties and real estate related things. Then they had a production company that basically they funneled all the cash from their entertainment earnings through and paid themselves out of that. And at one point, the Chrisleys were committing allegedly bank fraud, although now they've been convicted, I guess I can say they were committing bank fraud. And as the banks finally started to get wise to the fact that this Mark Braddock and Todd Chrisley were conspiring to inflate the assets of the Chrisleys in order to get these loans to buy these properties, the Chrisleys turned around and filed for bankruptcy. And the one thing they did that you never, never, never do is they tried to hide assets from their creditors. So when they declared bankruptcy, they did not list all of their assets. And they tried to hide that money, which got them into more trouble and is part of what led to this whole tax fraud and tax evasion trial. So the Chrisleys didn't file taxes for a number of years, and they underreported their income. And so finally Mark Braddock came forward after I guess he had had enough of the Chrisleys, and he said, look, to the feds, you've got to know about this situation. This is what the Chrisleys have been doing. And, everybody knows them as being like the happy-go-lucky Christian family. And we found out through the trial that there's skeletons in their closet, and they have children who seem to not have done very well with all of this publicity and being in the spotlight. And we've talked about other families whose children are growing up who we suspect may have some of these same problems one of these days. But it exposed a lot of nastiness. Todd was outed. Obviously nothing wrong with him being gay, but the fact that he hid it and had this illicit affair and then apparently spurned this guy and cut him out of the picture. And so he got his revenge, and hell hath no fury like a gay man scorned. Long story short, a couple of months ago, the trial had ended and the Chrisleys were convicted. And all that was left to do was to decide their sentences. And well, today we found out what that's going to be. And you will probably be pleased to know that it's not a slap on the wrist. Also, I'm going to talk about that they tried to, and this happens in every criminal trial, you get like character references where they try to minimize or reduce the sentence by trying to show that the person's really a good person even though they committed these horrible crimes. And, not many people are fooled by that. Todd Chrisley's attorneys, they argued that he should not face more than 9 years in prison. They had separate lawyers, which they should, because even though they're a married couple, you don't want to tie your wagon to the other person. It wasn't clear from the outset how much culpability Julie Chrisley had. So it's always good to have your own attorneys, and she did. And they argued that she should have gotten probation and that she was the caregiver for her mother-in-law, Todd's mother, and that people needed her, etc., etc. And I guess they have custody of one of their children's children who is a minor. And so, I mean, I understand that that's sad that she has these responsibilities, but she should have thought about that before she tried to screw the government. So the prosecutors argued that they should not get any kind of special consideration, and this is why, and it's, in my opinion, very much on point. And they said that the Chrisleys submitted false documents to the grand jury that was investigating their crime and then convinced friends and family members to lie under oath during their trial, prosecutors argued. And they said that neither of them has shown any remorse, and they have instead blamed others for their criminal conduct. They said the Chrisleys are unique given the varied and wide-ranging scope of their fraudulent conduct and the extent to which they engaged in fraud and obstructive behavior for a prolonged period of time. And it's true. I mean, that we talked about that in the June video, that this was really a long-ranging scheme using different companies, and it went on for years and years. So it's not like they went, oops, made a mistake. This was something that went on for years. So this was a very well organized conspiracy. So I agree. They don't deserve any special consideration. I don't care who they are. And so one thing, of course, was both sets of lawyers, Todd's and Julie's, got to argue different reasons why their clients should get leniency. And so Julie Chrisley's lawyer said that she played a minimal role in the conspiracy, was not involved when the loans discussed in sentencing documents were obtained. She has no prior convictions, is an asset to her community, has extraordinary family obligations, and they asked for a sentence of probation, restitution, and community service. Well, if Julie Chrisley wanted to avoid a long prison sentence, she shouldn't have gotten involved on any level. And if she knew something was going on, she should have stopped it. So I have no sympathy. And again, these arguments are made all the time. They're rarely ever successful in terms of bringing leniency. You know, you can say she's a saint who walks on water, but clearly she broke the law, and not just once. So I'm sorry, but that taints that little saintly image just a little bit, don't you think? So ultimately, this is what the judge had to say in the sentences that were handed down. The U.S. District Judge Eleanor Ross in Atlanta gave Todd Chrisley 12 years in prison and 16 months of probation once he gets out. Julie Chrisley got 7 years in prison and also 16 months of probation when she gets out. So she did get a lesser sentence than Todd's, but they both clearly got long sentences, and their careers are essentially over, as I guess they probably should be. Maybe they'll do a new reality series, Chrisley Knows Prison. Who knows? If you're listening, television producers, there's an idea for you. And remember where it came from, the Madcatster. I want my percentage. Anyway, so this is one fine example of rich, famous people not getting away with committing a crime. And it's good to see that justice was served. And although they may, underneath it all, be good people in terms of their hearts, they still broke the law. And nobody, no matter what your financial position, deserves to get away with committing a crime. So Todd and Julie Chrisley, they got what they deserved. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Do you think the sentences were fair? Do you think they should have gotten leniency? Do you think the judge was right? And do you think the prosecutors were right? Or do you think the attorneys had a point in what they had to say? Let me know down below. Now, I want to take a second. Edith is here, and she's trying to confront little Sybil. Edith's a pushy girl. So I want to thank somebody who sent us a wonderful gift arrived today from the Amazon wish list. We got 40 cans of the Friskies wet cat food, which I so appreciate, because you guys, I have 15 cats. Do you know how much food and cat litter I go through? It's ridiculous. Anyways, we appreciate so much all of you who send stuff from the Amazon wishlist. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So Kim C., you are the goddess of the week. Thank you so much for the cat food. We appreciate it. I want to thank all of our Patreon patrons. That's the support that helps with the monthly veterinary bill. Actually, I pay it twice a month, but I really appreciate it, you guys. And thank you so much to the channel members. We added another channel member, which I'm so happy about. So thank you all for your support, your generosity, your caring, your kind comments for Sybil. I hope you guys have the best Thanksgiving. Spend it with your families. Thank God for all the good things you have to be thankful for. I have a special connection to Thanksgiving because it's very true. Madcatster has 2 ancestors who came over on the Mayflower. And so I feel a special connection to this holiday. I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for my cats. I'm thankful for my family. And I'm thankful for having this opportunity on YouTube and for you guys supporting me and for the growth that we've seen in this past, not even a year and a half yet. And I'm so happy. But thank you guys. Take care of yourselves. I'm actually trying to set a record. I'm recording 3 videos in a row. So after I stop the camera, I'm going to go change my costume and I'm going to make the second one and then I'm going to make the third one. So be sure to look in my videos because there's going to be 3 popping up between tonight and, or actually this will probably be posted very early morning. There'll be 2 more posted on Tuesday in addition to this one. So be on the lookout. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I love you all. Take care.
Pretty please. Subscribe, like, and hit the bell. I get a treat for every new sub. Thank you.